Assalamu alaikum. This is the real test. I said in my last video, this is going to be the first words in this video. This is the real test. Real Madrid against Villarreal this Saturday, October 4th. Are we ready? I am not sure. But if I'm going to be completely honest, this game is going to show a lot in Real Madrid's system and identity. Now let me break it down. You guys remember what happened in the last La Liga match, right? Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid. I don't want to remind myself either. But after that loss, we need to reinstall the fear in the La Liga teams, all right? Because we cannot handle the disrespect. Villarreal is the real test because even though they are not a La Liga giant, all right, probably they are in La Liga, but they are not kind of the big three. They are number 3 right now in the league. And guess what? I believe if they beat us, they are going to take our number 2 spot and we become number 3. So we cannot let this happen. This is why this is the big test, because the pressure is on Real Madrid. We're going up against a team that's literally 2 points, I think, under us. We need to find a way to break through and not just to hold on. This team really has to find answers. And the answers cannot be found within the match. It has to be found before the game. So look, let's break it down real quick before I tell you guys the starting lineup, before I make my predictions and what Real Madrid has to do in order to win. As we all know, Real Madrid are coming back from Kazakhstan by the time I'm recording this video, and they just came back from a 5-0 win against Kairat. Now look, Kairat is nowhere near the level of La Liga. They're not playing in a league close to La Liga. They are really not a team that should be feared by anybody. So it was expected by Real Madrid to drop 5 goals, which is not really that impressive if I have to be honest, because this is something that should be expected from a giant club like Real Madrid. However, Mbappé scoring his hat-trick, we got Brahim Diaz, we got Camavinga scoring their goals. It was a good day for Real Madrid fans. However, if there's one thing that game should teach us and Real Madrid players, it's that the mindset really matters. The way Real Madrid were pressing, the way they were playing, the way Xabi Alonso rotated these players, the way Vinícius messed up, the way Arda probably had a couple mess up. We have to not do that in matches like La Liga. We could afford these mistakes in the UCL against these smaller clubs. But once we're back in La Liga, once we're fighting for our points, it is going to matter once we reach that final stretch of the league. Of the league season. So, as we know, Arda Güler had a fantastic game against Atletico Madrid and Kairat. So hopefully heading into this game, he will also have this confidence with him to keep controlling that midfield and lead the attack right behind Mbappé. Vinícius Jr. has not been consistent. I'm not going to lie. I love Vinícius, but he has not been consistent, and that is something that worries me as a Real Madrid fan, because even though I do hope that he does come back and he finds his form, he is not in that form. Basically, I'm talking about against big clubs. Even against Kairat, he really didn't do anything. I'm not sure if he had an assist. I'm not really sure, but that doesn't matter to me. I look for what they do in big games. And for Vinícius not to really perform in these big games so far in the last season and this season, it's really important for Vinícius to step up. If not, I would say start Rodrygo this game. If you guys saw Rodrygo last game, he really had a fantastic game. Rodrygo is really special, man, and I really want to see him start as often. I know probably Xabi Alonso did say that he's no longer starting at the right wing position, but I'm really sad about that because now we can't see Vinícius and Rodrygo play together on the front alongside Mbappé. I do want to see that happen one day, though. Maybe like if we're winning a game by like 5 goals, maybe Xabi Alonso might switch Rodrygo to the right wing position. We never know. We got to wait and see. Our injuries, we got Mendy, we got Carvajal, we got Trent injured, we got Rudiger. As you guys know, we don't have a right back. Same as last season, we don't have a right back. And guess what? We don't have Lucas Vazquez. So I think that Xabi Alonso is going to play with that 3 in the back, to be honest. As Fran Garcia does come back to the left back position, or if Carreras come back to the left back position, I do think that Asensio is either going to switch to the right back position, or Valverde, whoever's playing in the holding defensive midfield, they come back either on the center back or either on the right back position, and then that forms a 5 in the back. As we know, Real Madrid 6 wins, and now they only have 1 loss, which the streak was good. I was happy about the streak, but now we lost it, and now we have to move on. They're coming back from a win against Kairat. Now let's look at Villarreal. So there are 5 wins, 1 loss, and 1 draw. So it's pretty interesting because their 3 recent wins are against top half teams like Osasuna, Sevilla, and Athletic. So it's really, really, honestly mind-blowing because this team really, like, on paper probably is not scary, but I think if you watch their games, they do look scary because they do play in a 4-4-2 formation and they do press high, or they play that haram ball, which is basically playing a low ball, or they all basically come back and defend, playing 10 men in the back. So that is pretty scary when we play against them. We don't really find openings. Teams that play low block, we really don't find openings, and that's why I always say Real Madrid players have to keep the tempo high. They have to keep the tempo high. They have to control the midfield, and they have to pass fast. They have to, when they counter, they have to go fast. Like, we have the 2 fastest players in the world in the top, so I think we have to keep playing fast and not let them come back, get organized, and think before we attack. All right? Now look, what does Real Madrid have to do in order to win? I've always said the same thing, but this time I want to add one more thing. Real Madrid cannot get comfortable when they take the lead. They really get too comfortable when they get the lead, and it is not a good thing. Because if you guys remember, against Atletico Madrid, right? We did get the lead. We did. We got the lead before halftime, and then we conceded 3 goals in the second half. So Real Madrid really cannot relax once they get the lead. They have to press for more. They have to be hungry. That is not what I see from my team. They have to play like they're hungry. Mbappé, you have to play like you're chasing your first UCL, your first La Liga trophy, right? He had a lot of success in PSG and internationally, but now you have to think about it as you are still that young boy who wants to succeed in his first professional season. You have to think about it like that. Well, technically now second because he's in Real Madrid. This is his second year. So Real Madrid, like I said, they have to control the tempo and make sure it's a high tempo and control the midfield. Because when we don't have control in the midfield, we lose the ball. All right? We can't just have Mbappé be the one controlling the midfield in the middle by himself and rely on him to give passes and everything. As we know, Mbappé is not the fastest. He doesn't have the fast defensive awareness. Or he doesn't have the fastest awareness. That's what I meant to say, not defensive. Basically, what I mean by when he gets the ball, he doesn't pass or he doesn't act quick. He waits a little bit. Unless he's on the counter. That's something different. But I'm speaking about once he gets the ball and once everybody's defending and everything, he doesn't really look to pass right off the bat. He holds the ball a little bit, does a little dribble move, and then passes it. Mbappe, we can't rely on him to do that. We could rely on him on getting goals, though. That's what we could rely on Mbappe for. I'm a little, tired because I came back from work, watched the PSG and Barcelona game, recorded that video, and now I'm recording this video. So I'm just going to keep this short, sweet, and simple. My lineup, I think he's going to play 3 in the back. Asensio, Dean Hassan, okay? Dean Hassan. And honestly, I'm thinking Carreras. He might put Carreras in the back 3, and Fran Garcia is going to be the left back or the left mid. And on the right, it's going to be either Valverde or either Tchouaméni comes down defending, and then Raul Asensio shifts to the right back position. So, yeah, I believe it's going to be 3-4-2. Basically the same lineup as Kairat. I don't know if you guys remember, just probably different players. I think Valverde is going to start this time. Tchouaméni. And the right mid is definitely going to be Franco because for some reason not Rodrygo. On the left mid, we are going to have Vinícius. Or honestly, isn't it 3-4-3? I think, 3-4-3. It's going to be 3-4-3. And Vinícius left wing, Mbappé in the top, and Arda is going to be right wing. On paper, but obviously it's going to shift. So let me know what you guys think. Do you think Real Madrid is going to succeed? Do you think they're going to dominate? Do you think Real Madrid is going to come out victorious? Or are they going to get embarrassed? Just like what happened last week, and I hope and I pray that that's not going to happen. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm going to be responding to every single comment. If I can't respond, I'm just going to like it, comment, like, share the video with friends. If I have zero ball knowledge, if I'm yapping, just share it with them. Tell them, hey, this guy's yapping. Come over to this video. And then we could have a chat with them in the comments. Until then, Assalamu alaikum.